Good morning, everybody. Wait for it. Wait for it. How about that? Bishop, are you really going to ask me to wait for it this morning? We all need this devotion this morning, me included. My hands is raised, both of them. How about that? Good morning, everybody. It's time for Morning Manna, and I got a word for you on this morning. And this morning is all about something that most human beings hate to do. Wait for it. Wait for it. Well, I'm going to get into the word in a moment, but I want to greet some people on this morning. Good morning, Elder Lawson. How are you, Elder Jan? I hope all is well with you. Good morning, Carolyn. How are you on this morning? Good morning, Brenda. I should have known if there was Carolyn, there's going to be a Brenda. As always, two sisters here. Good morning, guys. How are you on this morning? Good morning, Elder Mobley. How are you? Pastor Richard, how are you? Liz, how are you? Valerie, how are you? Ella, how are you? Minister Sent, how are you doing on this morning? What a great morning it is. Anna, how are you? Dawn, how are you? Patricia, how are you doing on this morning? Who is this? LaFon, how are you on this morning? It is a great morning. It is. Brother Pope, how are you? You know, it's a wonderful morning. And this morning, I'm going to ask you to do something that I think many of us, now some of us don't have no problems with waiting, but I can't say that. I'm going to get into sharing my story here in a moment. But wait for it. Wait for it. Wait for it. I don't need you to necessarily put it in the chat area what you're waiting for, but put it into your spirit what you're waiting for. And I'm going to give you a word that's going to help you hold out until the Lord breaks through what He has for you. Good morning, Gerald. How are you on this morning? Brother Nesbitt, how are you on this morning? Ramona, how are you on this morning? Pamela, how are you doing on this morning? Francine, happy anniversary. Can we all shout out to the Hayes household, a fantastic couple, just servants of the Lord of the Most High. Happy anniversary. Happy anniversary. Yeah, little birdie told me. Little birdie that picks me up from the airport. He told me. Yeah, that birdie. But anyhow, happy anniversary. Can we shout out to Fran and Elder Hayes' anniversary? I think it's tomorrow this week. But let's shout out to them. Good morning. Here we go. Lenore, how are you on this morning? Let's get right into the word. This morning is all about wait for it. Wait for it. How many of you struggle with waiting? Let me give you a story and I'll come back. Let me just tell you my testimony, if you will, with respect to my struggle. I struggle with waiting, but not for people. I'm very patient with people, but processes, processes. I'm a person that thinks it should have been done yesterday and it's still late. But with people, quite patient, quite patient. Whatever the situation may be, what do you struggle with waiting for? What is it that you struggle with waiting for? Let's delve into this word this morning. It's going to bless you. Revelations 22:13. Revelations 22:13. The text to talk, the takeaway. I am the Alpha and the Omega, the first and the last, the beginning and the end. Grab the fact that the word first and last, beginning and end, both began with a capital letter. In other words, they are not adjectives, they are proper nouns. What does that tell us? How do we wait for it with God speaking, with Christ speaking in the Word? Number one, don't worry while you wait, worship while you wait, because He is the Alpha and Omega. Worship while you wait. If you worry while you wait, the wait extends itself. Worry is internal grumbling. Let me say that again. Worry is internal grumbling. And you know what happened to the people that were in the wilderness who grumbled? 40 years were added to their wait. Don't worry while you wait, worship while you wait. Here's the second thing I want you to get a hold of. Come here, Abraham, sit down and talk to everybody. Abraham got a word at 75, but it did not materialize until 25 years later. 25 years, Abraham waited. Abraham, you're going to be the father of the nations. I'm going to bless you more than the stars in the sky and the grains of sand on the seashore. When, Lord, wouldn't tell him. And he went through some things while he was waiting. And he made some mistakes while he was waiting. We all do. But let's find in his life that when Abraham waited, God was true to his word. And 25 years. 25 years. What is 25 years? It's 5 times 5. That is the number of grace. 5 times. What's the third thing? The third thing is it's worth the wait. It's worth the wait. When Abraham got to the end of his wait, God showed up. It's worth the wait. A lot of things happen in the wait. In the wait, you build character. In the wait, you draw closer to the Lord. In the wait, you become more of an example of God, of Christ in the earth. So there is something that is happening in the wait, and that's why it's worth the wait. You become heavier and more weighty spiritually. What's your takeaway this morning? Here's your takeaway. I want you to write it down. Jesus can't be late because Jesus is time. Said he's the Alpha, the Omega, the first, the last, the beginning, and the end. Jesus says, I'm never late because I am time. The Lord be with you today. May his face shine upon you and give you peace while you wait. I'll see you tomorrow morning with more morning manna. Share this manna. If it bless you, bless somebody else. Don't keep it to yourself.